This is how I travel without paying for most of my accommodations, saving thousands of dollars a month. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it too, especially if you're on a budget. We had no idea this possibility existed, so this changed the way we travel completely. This system opened up so many housing opportunities for us for less than $1 a night. And no, these are not hostels and these are not shared spaces. These are real, big, large apartments and houses all to ourselves. So we left Canada about a year ago and we wanted to travel for a bit. So we started traveling. We went to New York for a few days, to Montreal. We went to Europe and we realized that accommodations are so expensive, especially the short-term ones and the hotels. It's crazy. So we decided to go to Bali, lived there for about 5 months. We still paid about like $700 a month for just a room that we were renting inside someone else's home. There was a common yard, there's a common kitchen, so there wasn't a lot of privacy there. And Bali isn't cheap anymore. Whoever went to Bali recently and thought that it was extremely cheap like it was 50 years ago or 20 years ago, it's not anymore. But for the past 5 months, we stayed in gorgeous 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom apartments and houses, and we paid less than $1 a night for them. I know this sounds weird, strange, too good to be true, but it is real. And these houses are in really great areas. They have gyms, they have pools. Not all of them, but most of them do, the ones that we pick. They have literally everything you need inside them. You have water filters, you have espresso machines, you have beautiful furniture, beautiful decor. It's amazing. So far, we lived in Singapore for about 2.5 months. We're staying in Kuala Lumpur for another 2 months in Malaysia. And now we are going to Madeira, which is a beautiful island in Portugal called the Hawaii of Europe. To spend our winter holidays there and live there for 7 weeks. Same price, less than $1 a night. And we're getting all of these houses in exchange for pet sitting. So this whole thing started a couple months before we had to leave Bali. We were planning our next move, our next flights. We wanted to go to Thailand or Philippines or Vietnam. And we noticed that all the flights were going through Singapore. And it's been always our dream to visit Singapore, but we never had the chance and thought that, okay, we're so close, we have to go. It would be a wasted opportunity if we didn't. And then we started looking at accommodations there. And because Singapore does not have short-term rentals there, that's illegal, they only have hotels. And that would have been minimum $1,000 for a week to stay there. And that wasn't really part of the initial plan for us to spend. And we were also traveling on a budget, so we had to give up on our Singapore dream. But then a couple weeks later, Dan received this newsletter email from a website that he signed up like a year before that. And it was a pet sitting and a house sitting website. People putting their houses up whenever they went on vacation and they needed someone to stay with their pet. In exchange, you got to live in their house at no extra cost. So then we were like, let's see, are there any pet sitting opportunities in Singapore? And there were lots of them. First one we saw was this like 3-bedroom apartment with chandeliers and statues and marble floors. And it was so gorgeous with 2 cats. And we were like, can you stay in an apartment like this in Singapore without paying for it? So we immediately started creating our profiles to be able to apply. And then while doing that, it also sparked our attention and we looked at the world map and we noticed that there were so many other listings all over the world. And these listings have pictures, descriptions, both of the house and of the pet. They tell you what the responsibilities are going to be, where is the house located, right? So you can see apartments in Manhattan or big cottage houses in outside London, for example. It's honestly crazy. And then we were like, okay, we miss having pets. We love dogs and we love cats. Why don't we try doing that while also visiting Singapore? It honestly looked like an amazing opportunity, almost too good to be true. So we signed up for their premium membership because we wanted the extra perks coming with the membership. and the little badge we got on the profile. But they have 100% money back guarantee. So even if you don't find a house, you can get your money back. Or we knew that even if we could find one opportunity, one apartment, one house in Singapore, it would have been totally worth it. And it's a yearly membership, so you have quite a bit of time to look and find opportunities that suit you. And the reason why I keep saying that we paid less than $1 a night is because the cost of this membership divided by the number of days we got to use this platform for and stay in these beautiful houses is literally like 80 cents. So we don't actually pay the house owners or the pet parents anything. It's just the cost of the membership. So far, we've stayed in Singapore for 2.5 months, not a few days. We stayed in Kuala Lumpur for 2 months. We're about to go to Madeira and live there for 7 weeks. And then we're planning to go to either Spain or Italy or stay longer in Portugal maybe. And that brings us down to about 230 something days. And you have to realize the houses that we're staying in, these houses have everything you need. Because people chose to live in these areas, they are really nice residential, quiet areas. They usually have pools, obviously because we're in Southeast Asia. They have gyms, literally anything and everything you could think of, plus a huge amount of space. You also have like streaming services, Netflix, HBO, Disney. You have workspaces, right? It's just amazing. These are definitely not the short-term rentals that you get that have like 2 forks and 2 plates and literally nothing else. Of course, you choose the houses based on preferences. Like we've stayed in smaller apartments too, but they were so cozy and so well located that it was amazing. And we would stay there for maybe 5 to 6 days, but then choose a bigger house for a longer stay. Especially if you're a solo traveler, like space shouldn't really be a problem for you. I think the shortest stay we had was 5 days, and then the longest one is now going to be 7 weeks. So our current travel expenses are pretty much food, transportation, our international phone number service or app, our medical insurance, and the ATM withdrawal fees. And for the medical insurance, we researched quite a bit and we landed on this pretty affordable one, and it's really good. I had to use it about 4 times, I think. A couple times in Bali, a couple times in Singapore, and every time I've gotten my money back in about like 2 or 3 days. And it's super easy. Like you upload all your receipts and everything through the app, and then boom, it's done. And for the ATM fees and the conversion fees, we use Wise. Dan had been working with them for years in his online business, so we knew they're super, super reliable. And for traveling, like we have their international card and the app, so you can like tap with their card, or you can just have it on you. It's great. Did our cat just come down the stairs? Did you see him? Because he's now eating. Can you hear him? Probably not. Anyway, this is another pet we're sitting with right now. So our first sit in Singapore was with 2 cats. The second one was with 2 dogs, then 1 cat, then 1 cat and a dog, then again the 2 dogs we sat with before. So in total, we've done about 7 pet sits in Singapore, and we were there for 2.5 months, which allowed us to visit so much more than we could have in just a few days that we could afford. And yes, this is quite a bit of moving around. This is just something that we decided we wanted to do. Because we wanted to show as many people as possible what kind of pet sitters we are and just get our reviews on the platform. But obviously you don't have to do that, or you can choose some pet sitting opportunities wherever you live in your area. Go and spend a couple of days in each of these houses and then get your reviews. Be a really nice sitter, get your reviews, and that's how you build up your profile. I'll be posting a lot more videos about how exactly this works, how you can become a really good pet sitter. So make sure you subscribe to learn more about this platform. And yes, this does come with responsibilities, right? At first, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, these are, strangers, stranger pets. We don't know how they'll behave. Like, what are they like? Are we going to be able to take care of them properly? But these pets are actually so well behaved because their parents wouldn't leave them with strangers if they knew they weren't. They don't get extra anxious, they don't get stressed out, they love people, they love meeting new people, they're okay with, new energies in their house. So we had the best time with every single pet we stayed with. I literally still go through all of my pictures and smile and think about them and remember them and all the good times we had. But in order to have a good time, you have to also be responsible. So a few things that you want to make sure you know and you do when you get a pet sitting opportunity is, number one, you want to make sure that you're traveling to that country legally. You have a visa, you have all the entry requirements. Second, you have to be at least 21 years old in order to be able to do this. Third, you have to realize the fact that you are becoming a pet parent and a house owner for however long you're going to be staying there. As a pet parent, you're going to be the one feeding them, cleaning after them, playing with them, cuddling them, walking them, right? Whatever they need, you're there to replace their original parents. And you usually receive a really, really detailed welcome guide with everything you need to know, every piece of information about the house, the pets, emergency numbers, the location, building management, like everything. So it's really, really useful to always have it on hand. But you're also in constant contact with the owners. So even if you have a question that's not in the guide, you can always just text them. Also, the owners always make sure you know where to get your groceries, what kind of transportation there is around, how to get in contact with the building management. Like you're good, you're set up. You want to keep an eye on the house, water the plants, keep the house clean, and that's pretty much it. Of course, if you're staying somewhere remote, maybe there's a lawn to mow, maybe there are some chickens to feed. There's so many different houses, from apartments and high rises in Thailand and Bangkok to farm cottage houses in UK, right? So you can either take care of cats or dogs, or rabbits, pigs, horses, chickens, whatever you prefer, really, or whatever you have experience with. The opportunities and the choices are endless. You also have to give the pet owners some updates, either daily or every couple of days, depending on their preferences. You send them like a cute photo with the pet or a little fun video, just to let them know that everything's fine, the pet is happy, you're good in their home, everything's good, so you can both be relaxed. And this is not like an entirely free stay, right? You don't pay for the accommodation per se, but you still have to buy your own food. Don't go eating everything they have in their pantry. Just get your own food. And obviously, whatever transportation costs you have to go in and out, that's also on you. But I do have to say, a lot of the owners actually leave their bikes for you to use, and some of them even their cars. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that with dogs specifically, you would have to walk them, right? At least twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times a day sometimes, right? So if you want to travel and explore, you have to be strategic about it. So you have to plan your time around the pets, which honestly is not a problem, because we choose areas we want to go to based on what we want to visit. So for example, if we were in Singapore is pretty small. So we would walk the dogs, go out for a few hours, come back, have lunch, work a little bit, go out again. You can always plan and strategize around the pet. With cats, it's a little bit easier because they're totally fine to be left alone from 6 to 8 hours. But typically with dogs, you just have to plan a little bit better. That's all. But one thing you have to be aware of, you cannot leave overnight, right? You have to always be there for the pets, for the house, because that's the whole point while you're there. However, the owners do know that you are traveling, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't do that. So they know that you want to explore. So they highly recommend, you going out, checking out the city, maybe going out a little bit further. They give you recommendations, places to see, places not to go to, places to go to. They always give you some good restaurants around the neighborhood. It's a win-win situation, right? It's a two-way street. So the owners know that you're there to explore, and you know that you're there to take care of their pet and their house. When we were going through these listings and reading some of the responsibilities, we were like, oh my God, can we do this? Is this too much? But honestly, it's been so amazing. You adjust your routine to the pet routine. So you basically are a house owner and a pet owner for however long you're getting the house for. And for us, it was as if we had pets and we lived there. And normally we like to choose stays that are longer than 2 weeks so you can actually get into some sort of routine. Every single pet we've had, like I turned from a cat person to a dog person because of the amazing experiences we had with dogs. And like you wake up in the morning, there's like our cat currently does like a little tap on our face in the morning at like 6 or 7 a.m. to wake us up. It's so cute. It's such a nice way to wake up in the morning. And just, you know, the playtime you have with them, having them around, their energy, the cuddles, it just, I don't know, it just feels like so much more than just travel, you know? So there are some other pet sitting or house sitting platforms, and we signed up on all of them, but we ended up only using this one because it's just so much more like user friendly, and there's so many more listings, and you can easily browse through the entire world. You can save searches, like you get notifications every time something of your interest shows up. You can like filter your searches based on your pets, on your country you want to visit, even down to a city. Like we're planning to go to Spain, Italy, possibly New York next year, maybe back to Vancouver, Canada to see our friends. And we don't plan on paying for rent when we do that. So if you want to check them out as a pet sitter or as a house owner, I put their link down below so you can sign up for free and just go through whatever's available and see if you like anything. Or you can buy a membership and you could just start using the platform right away. You can start applying. I have a 25% discount code, so just make sure you click on the link and go apply the code posted there. Please do not pay full price, use the discount code. So we can proudly say that we are professional pet sitters now. We have only received 5-star reviews, and honestly, we have also only given 5-star reviews. It is a trust-based platform. You know, the house owners, the pet parents want to make sure they accommodate you as well as they can, and then you want to do that in return. And in the end, it's a win-win situation. Everybody's happy. I have so many tips and suggestions and recommendations and advice that I can give you about how to create a profile, how to find a good sit, what to look at, what to pay attention to, how exactly this whole thing works. And yes, I will be posting a lot more about this because one video is not enough. And a lot of our hosts told us that this has been life-changing for them when they found out about this platform, because every time they go on vacation, they know they can go for a long period of time. They don't have to put their pets in a pet hotel. They don't have to bring them with them and stress them out. The pet stays in their familiar place. They sleep where they like to sleep. They play with you. They don't go through so much change, right? And stress every time they want to travel. So, you know, getting the updates from the pet sitters, knowing that their pet is taken care of and comfortable and just happy, it's priceless. Plus, the pet hotels are like thousands of dollars, especially longer than a week or two. And as a pet sitter, especially if you're traveling on a budget, this is an amazing opportunity. And honestly, like even if you want to get away from your family or something and just want, you know, a change of scenery, you can find a house in your area, in your country, in your city. You know, go stay with a pet. And some of these houses don't even have pets. It's just house sitting, right? Go away for a weekend or a week or two or a month, whatever it is. I saw houses going up for 6 months, 8 months, up to a year. All you got to do is take care of the house, the plants, and of a pet, if there is one. Just make sure you create a nice profile, add some cute photos of you with some pets, read all the rules, get a couple references, and start applying. The platform is called Trusted House Sitters. We've been on the platform for about 6 months now, and this is just the beginning. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I will make sure to answer all of them. And yeah, happy travels.